I just genuinely don't even understand the comment. Like, why did we protest? Why were we out there? There are no kings in America. I mean, I understand the kinds of people we're dealing with, but so for any MAGAs that are watching this, because I know some of y'all like to troll my videos, why did we protest? Okay, we protested for several reasons, not the least of which is we're showing marginalized communities, people who may not have felt safe to come out to protest, that you're not alone. And there are tons and millions of people, not only the ones that showed up to protest, but the ones driving by honking, the ones supporting online who had to work or maybe just felt too afraid to come out. They're like, hey, you're not alone. We see you. We're not okay with what's happening here. And we're not going to just sit by while this happens. So we protested for the simple reason that we can. We're reminding Trump that, hey, you want to be a king, but guess what? In this country, we already fought a war to make sure that that didn't happen. All right? That we have a constitutionally protected right, First Amendment, in case he doesn't know, to peaceably assemble and address our government for our grievances. We have a right to do that. All right? And they're like, oh, we don't have kings. If we had kings, y'all wouldn't be allowed. We know that. The point is, we're saying we don't want any kings in America. I mean, I know you guys are like simple, but y'all, your retort is only based in, well, nothing, because you have nothing, because you spent the last 2 weeks calling it I Hate America rally, and now you realize that's not what it was at all, so now you're grabbing at straws. I mean, it's actually just sad. It would be better for y'all if you were just silent on the matter. And I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but one of the major reasons that I was out there is it is so important to show fascists because fascism feeds on fear, right? So when they came out and they're trying to criminalize basically being left of center with that NSPM, the presidential memorandum, calling us domestic terrorists, this, that, and the third, it's important, okay, when you are fighting fascism as we are here in America. And by the way, and I'll circle back to that in a second about why people were protesting around the world. Well, I'll just deal with that now. Because they've seen fascism in their own countries. They know what it looks like up close and personal. And they're protesting with us to say, hey, America, you are sliding. Just kidding, we're already in. But like, hey, y'all need to stand up and deal with it. Well, like I was saying, fascism feeds on fear, right? So the fact that he thought that just because he said that, oh, like he thinks he says, oh, you guys are all domestic terrorists now. And the way they're, thugging out with ICE and all this other BS, that we were all just going to be too scared and stay in our homes. Look, I think there were a substantial amount of people who otherwise would have come out but didn't because of all the stuff that's happened in the last couple weeks. And, you got to deal with whatever your comfort level is. But what I can say is everybody that stood out there was saying, hey, we're not afraid of you. We are not afraid of you because maybe you, maybe you forgot. Your power comes from us. You work for us, not the other way around. So that was what we were showing. And we were showing it's a visual to people who maybe, like myself, feel marooned in red states that, look, there are people from sea to shining sea that are not okay with what is happening. Not a few people, not a fringe group, not lunatic left, mainstream grannies, school teachers, Sunday school teachers, moms, dads, children, people who are not okay with you trying to play fast and loose with the Constitution. And I think finally, not even most importantly, but it's a good visual check for all of you on the right who I know that you guys love to believe that you are the majority. You're not. You never have been. You never have been. Yes, Trump won the election. Maybe. Regardless, you are not the majority. You have always been the minority. All right? There are fewer of you. There are more Americans that are not okay with what is happening than that are okay with it. So just because the people who happen to be institutionally in power at this moment, right, happen to be okay with this slide into fascism, the rest of the country which is probably 65 or 70% of the country at this moment, is not okay with this. And so that's what for all of those reasons and several others, all right, that people came out. So when you guys try to say, oh, like somebody put up some stupid post about like, oh, we were afraid we were going to have kings and thank God as a result, we don't have them now. Look, the thing is, y'all can't handle people who don't hate themselves and hate other people. You don't know how to react to 7 million people coming out into the streets, keeping it peaceful, and all standing in solidarity, just going like, yeah, we're not okay with this because we're not directing our hate at any one group like you guys do, right? We're saying it's love of country, not hate of this group. So, I mean, yeah, that's probably why it's hard for you guys to process.